Now I can well imagine that some academics listening to this presentation will think, oh my god, this is all too much. There are not enough hours in the day. I have so much other work to do. But honestly, this is not as time consuming as you may think. If you add up the hours, I would say that per paper is about 6 to 16 hours. That might still sound like quite a lot for an individual paper, but put this into context. You've spent years and years on this research, and then another year or two writing up the paper and getting it through the review process. Why wouldn't you spend 1 or 2 more days to make sure that your paper reaches the audience it deserves? In the social sciences and humanities, we are at an advantage because it's not like we're publishing 10 articles a month. If you do, yes, then this would be quite time consuming. But then you're probably leading in a laboratory and you have a group of junior colleagues who do all the social media outreach for you. Generally, academics in the social sciences and humanities publish a couple of articles a year at most, so it really doesn't have to cost more than a few days a year. And as I said, if you put all this time into getting a paper out there, why not make sure it gets the attention it deserves? So the other question people always have is, well, does it really matter? I've presented some of this material before and some people have said to me, well, I've never ever cited a paper because I read a tweet about it. Well, maybe you didn't, but that's anecdata, that's not research. And there's in fact lots of research on social media use in academia, and in general you will find that the more you engage with social media, the more your work is read. Even if you reach 12 people that really need to know about the research, I think it's worth it. And as I said before, this is not all about citations, it's about reaching the right audience with your work. So here's a first example of the impact of using social media to communicate about your academic research. Here is a search in Publish or Perish for the articles published in a special issue in Journal of International Business Studies on language in international business. One of my frequent co-authors, Marcus Pudelko, who is not a big fan of social media, published 2 articles in this special issue in this journal. Both articles are with one of the then junior colleagues in his team, Helene Tenzer and Stefan Volk, and with an external co-author, myself and Tine Köhler, a former colleague of mine at the University of Melbourne. And both articles were excellent, otherwise they wouldn't have been accepted by the journal, which is a very top journal in my field. But whereas Helene and myself did share the article repeatedly on social media, and we also shared it in our own network of colleagues by email, the other article was pretty much left to its own devices. The difference in citation rate is striking. The first article is the most cited article in the special issue altogether and is cited almost 4 times as much as the other article.